Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11 everybody, and today we're going to be flying the Airbus A319, the Toliss version, from Wellington in New Zealand to Auckland in New Zealand. That's NZWN to NZAA. And for those of you that have been following the channel for some time, you'll know two things. The first thing is I've pretty much been posting videos on general aviation aircraft, so this is certainly going to be a bit of a change. And number two, you need to go ahead and smash that like button right now. Costs nothing at all, except maybe just a little bit of self-respect. Also, I'm really going hard to try to get that magic 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm a couple of hundred away from it, so please, it'd be really helpful if you do hit that subscribe also. But anyway, team, I'm learning this aircraft. Let's jump in the cockpit and start this thing up. Okay, here we are. We're cold and dark in the cockpit. And I've done the tutorial, which is an absolutely sensational tutorial, by the way. It covers everything step by step in the Toliss aircraft. And I've done it a couple of times with varying levels of success, to be fair. And apart from that, haven't really flown these types of aircraft with any sort of procedures. Okay, battery 1 and battery 2 goes on. Now let's get this external power on right there. Everything is lit up so we can see what is going on, so that is all good. Okay, fuel pump should be all off, and they certainly are right there. We might as well do a test up here right now. That's all good. That's all good, and the final one. That is all good. Right, down below here, back into the cockpit here, let's just give ourselves a little bit more light. And so over here is where you do that. Boom. That's a loudspeaker. That's not going to do a heck of a lot, is it? You can't really shout them brighter. So there's that one. And while I'm thinking about it, let's get down into these panels here. So the one above and the one below is nice and bright, particularly with a nice sunny day here in Wellington by the looks of it, which is not what we're going to be heading towards, I would imagine, looking outside my window right now. Okay, flap lever should be up. It certainly is, and it should show on here that it's all up, and it certainly does. The speed brake should be retracted. It is. And probe and window heat on auto. So if we go up here, I think you'll find that the probe and window heat, as soon as I can locate it, right here, it is on auto. There we go. I told you I was a bit rusty. Well, not rusty, I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay, air conditioning panel, all white and off. It certainly is. Cross bleed is auto. Air conditioning temperature is required. It's all good. And the generator 1 and 2 fault lights are on, and that is all good to go. All right, let's get into our pre-flight procedure right here, and we're going to align our navs right here. So we just turn this on, and the align will come up, and the battery light above it, I think it says battery. It's gone out now. On bat is what it is, and that will extinguish, and then you can move on to the next one. And the final one right here should come off any second. It will, and it will take a few minutes for that to rev up and be available. Okay, so strobe light, I should say, needs to go to auto. Boom, there it goes. Nav and logo, well, let's just put that up to 2, will be fine. And seat belts need to go on. And no smoking on auto. There we go. Emergency exit light needs to be on arm. Right there. Okay. But let's go and program our flight between here and Auckland. So, what I need to do for a start is we need to go ahead and get our init sorted. Boom. Here we go. And so, what you can do is you can actually use your keyboard here, which is quite good. NZWN to NZAA. When you've got your cursor hovered above it, you can use your keyboard, that is. Flight number is ANZ, Air New Zealand. Let me have a look over here. 432 is our flight number for today. Throw it in there, right there. Our cost index, according to SimBrief, is 5. 5. Boom, we'll use that this time. And cruise flight level, we're going north. We're going to do flight level 330. You put that in there, and we are good as gold. It's going to be negative 50 up there. You probably want to wear some gloves. So that is our init sorted. Right, next part we need to do is align our IRS. But before I do that, everybody, let me throw in my alternate aerodrome, NZHN Hamilton, right there. And what we do, just had a quick look because I'm new. You go to the data page, go to GPS monitor right down there, and here you go. You got GPS position of 4119 8S. There we go. So you can punch it in. You got to match the coordinates in your init page with that. That's why having two of these things in your aircraft is quite handy. So you bring this up, you go to your init page. I probably should do it the other way around, but this will do. So at the moment you can see it's 41196S. It needs to be 8S. So I hover above it. Actually, does it work if I just hover above it? It does. And I need to put it to 41198 south. And then the longitude, we need to go, I just need to click that. And then I go to 17448.5. So just one little boom, not wrong way, Mace, get it right. And we just do that. And then once it's all sorted, you just press align IRS. So boom, there we go. GPS primary loss, that's exactly what we're hoping to get. And so we are now nice and aligned, and it thinks we are where we actually are, which is pretty handy when it comes to navigation, just quietly. Okay, what I need to do now is I need to set up my some of the fuel weights and all that sort of stuff, and that's on init B page. So I just go across. I'm in the completely wrong place here, Mace. Let's go across here. We move this page across, and here we go here. So we're going to need to get into the Toliss ISCS screen. So we put it across here, and we just need to. If we just have a quick look at my sim brief over here. And it's telling me my estimated zero fuel weight is 56,242. And at the moment on here, it is showing, if we get an aircraft configuration, 51,616. So what did I say it was? 56,242. So we need to add, quite a bit of weight, actually. So what we will do is to get there, well, my block fuel, I'll get that sorted first, is 5883. Here I've got 6980, so we'll go 5883 or 5900, and then we'll adjust these other sort of sliders right here. So then this figure here gets up to my estimated zero fuel weight of 56,242. So let's add some passengers. 56,242, 56,316. I'll do it a little bit heavier, it's probably a bit safer. That way I add a little bit more fuel. Hold on, no, the other way actually. 56,216. There we go. That's better. So, with that done, I've got everything nicely balanced. So I quickly refuel and defuel down here, and then I can apply these load settings right there. I'll do it twice because, you know, why not? And then I need to put these two figures, 29.5 and 56.2, up into there. So I go 29.5 slash 56.2, boom, right there. And our 5.9 is our block fuel, 5.9, boom, and there we go. But we do need to go to our flight plan. Okay, so we're going to depart from NZWN. We're going to depart from use a departure from runway 34. The wind is blowing from the north, so that will be helpful. Now it doesn't, this isn't up to date, so it's not going to completely match what I need it to match, but I think from memory it's actually the Polar 1 Papa with a Russell, there we go, with the Russell transition. So let's insert that into our plan. Easy as that. We've got some discontinuities. Spit it out, Mace. And so if we just take a look at my flight plan over here, what we need to do is go to the Russell transition. We go to Airways, and now we can enter the route between here and Auckland into here. So okay, and that's all we need to do there, folks. Easy as that. We put those two in right there. Now we need to go to our destination, which is NZAA. Now we're going to do the Davy ILS runway 23 left is where we want to be. And we need the Davy, let's find it, Davy 5 Alpha. That is correct. No via. Let's insert that into that. And there we go. Let's just quickly run through. And we've got no discontinuities right there. Okay, so we need to figure out our V speed. So we need to get back up into the ISCS. And what we do over here are slats and flaps. And we set that and it tells us what we need to be. So we need to be 137 on V1. 137. We need to be 145 on our V2. VR I should say. 148 on V2. Boom, boom, boom. Easy as that. Thanks for coming. Okay, now we need to do, our centre of gravity is 30.5. And then we put in what our flaps is going to be. It's going to be down 0.0. Down 0.0. Hold on. No. Start that again, Mace. It's 1 for the flaps. And then D in 0.0. Great. Alright, we got it that time. Flex temperature is 72, so we go ahead and we fire that in here. Boomfa, thanks for coming. Okay, we're now going to be going into the pushback and the start phase. So we do need to set our altimeter, so the best way to find it is just go into here, zoom into the airport, let's click on it. The details are QNH is 998. So we just go here and we 998 and we just check our Copilot 1 matches, and I've got this sync so that happens automatically. And our flight directors should be both on, they certainly are. And now what we need to do is just check that the speed and the heading is dashed, and it is. And FT is set to ATC cleared, yep, 0-100, that's good. Okay, anti-skid is on, it is, great. Switching panel all normal, it's good. Transponder is set, so let's just get down here everybody. And let's put a 5565 for our transponder. I just made it up, but it is in the 5000s, which is typically domestic flights in New Zealand for those playing at home. Okay, and I don't want it on TARA, I want it on XPNDR. Okay, and what we need to do now, folks, is we need to get our beacon on. So, beacon on, easy as that. We need to get our APU on. It might actually help. So we go ahead and we put our APU master switch on right there. And if we go down to the panel right here, now this is the thing that was actually just a little bit confusing. In the tutorial, it tells you to put your APU on right now, where I'm doing it right now, just before you push back. But they don't start the engines as you push back. They start the engines when you are, like after you've been completely pushed back. In the checklist that I've got here, it's actually got me firing up the APU really early before I do all the flight plan and all that sort of stuff. So, I'm not too sure. I'd be interested. Let me know down in the comments which one you think it should be. One thing I did forget to do, by the way, folks. So I've done my transponder. Let's turn on these radios here, by the way. There's a radio there. There's a radio there. I've got it to 122.8. That's not what I'd usually have if I was on VATSIM or something. Just while I'm waiting for this APU to fire up. But by the way, if you go to the panel, it will tell you that it will tell you once the APU is good to go. In fact, up here it helps if you actually, by the way, everybody, you've actually got to press the APU start. That's what you got to do. There you go. We're all learning. Just go easy on me. And then turn on the APU bleed, and then turn off external power. We have a look out the back here. We've got an APU going, so that is good. Now, one thing I did forget to do, everybody, and I would like to thank myself for reminding myself, if that makes any sense, is let's get into our flight plan. Now, one thing I forgot to do was put in the winds, which are pretty important. So let's just we just grab this one here, for example. We go to wind data and wind request, and there we go right there. It calculates the wind for us, and we also look at what's the highest one right here, 279 at 84. and so we need to put that into the cruise. So what we do is go to next phase, and go 279 at 84 and put that in there, and then that is good as gold. Okay, now we're ready to push back. We'll get there eventually, and we click this on to run our chrono, and let's just get that going up there too, and let's request a pushback. So we've got a better pushback right here, so let's plan it out. There, perfect.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay, our park brake is on, which is important. Okay, as you can see, pushback has begun, so I'm going to go ahead and start the engines as we're going back right here, and it's really easy in this aircraft actually. We just go like this, we turn it on to ignition start, and let's get that engine pumped up right there. Actually, let's start that again, because if you're going to do that, everybody, you're probably going to need some fuel. So we should probably turn on our fuel pumps. Right, let's try that again. And what we're looking for is we're looking for N1 to get up to about 21 there or thereabouts. So that looks like it's pretty close to me. So let's pop engine number 2. And as you can see, it's starting to spool up right there. So that is looking good.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, both engines are online. So we'll go back to mode normal. We'll give the big thumbs up to our tow man, our pushback man, and let's turn off the APU bleed. We don't need that on anymore. What do we need to do? We need to set our flaps to take off. I'll do that on my joystick. It's just one notch. There we go, right there, and we can confirm it on there. 1 plus F. There we go. Anti-ice all good. APU master switch.
Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
There you go. As he talks over the top of me, it's all good. All right, we are ready to taxi, everybody. So nose wheel light needs to go to taxi. Parking brake needs to go to off. There we go, right there. And brakes, we need to do a bit of a brake check, so let's get back up here and we'll get rolling. Pump the brakes, definitely working. And what we need to do is just make sure the flight controls are working, and as we do that, whoa, let's slow down a bit here. If you can see down in our display right there, you can see that the all the different inputs are certainly working. Up and down, left and right, ailerons are working, rudder is working. Okay, we'll let the flight attendants know that we are good to go. We will set ourselves the takeoff configuration. There we go, right there. And what else do we need to do? I think we are, we've got a couple of things here. Auto brake we need to set to max, and spoilers we need to arm. There we go. Lucky it reminds you on the panel. There we go. Boom. Spoilers set to arm. Okay, just before we take off here, I have set my cruising altitude to 33,000 feet in here. It's something I forgot to do before. But let's see if we can do this, everybody. I'm going to have a look at I'm going to have the throttle quadrant in view just for a start, so I get them on the right notches. I'm going to have to come up with a better system than this, though, in the future. And I need my parking brake to be showing for a start. So let's get it established up there around 50%. There we go. Parking brake off. First notch. Second notch. Let's get back up there so we can see what we're doing. We're keeping the nose wheel down. We're all over the place. Whoa! Passengers are getting a little bit sick, but okay, that's fine. Okay, we've got it under control. A little bit hairy there for a start. Bring close to VR. And rotate. You can start flying whenever you like, boy. Here we go, we've got positive rate of climb. Gear goes up. Let's try to get that flight director looking where we need it to be. Using little green bars. A little bit all over the place here, to be fair. It's okay, we'll get it back on track in a minute. Okay, we can get our autopilot on. There we go. It's starting to bring things under control. As we get across to 1500 feet, we bring our throttles back. Right, let's get rid of our spoilers. Not required. Okay, what else do we need to take off right here, everybody? We can turn our runway lights off. Off. We can, our landing gear is up. Our spoilers are disarmed. Nose wheel light can come off. Okay, great. Autopilot's on. We've got our lever in the right place. Engine mode is normal. The aircraft is flying. We've got climb, we've got nav, we've got thrust climb. We are looking good, everybody. Okay, things are a little bit bumpy, I can tell you that, everybody, but we did forget to press our chrono. I'll press that now. Okay, I did forget some things. You got to go through the checklist. It's very hectic taking off, that's for sure. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll join you when there's something else to do. Catch you soon. Okay, everybody, we've just passed transition altitude of 13,000 feet, so we'll change our altimeter to standard. We've also gone ahead and we've already turned off our landing lights after crossing 10,000 feet, and we've gone and turned the seatbelt sign off. That early turbulence has gone away. One thing that you eagle-eyed people would have picked up was I was a bit late in getting my flaps up. I did eventually get my flaps up there after takeoff, and we've now accelerated through to a decent climb speed. So what I'll do, guys, is let's get this thing up to cruising altitude, and it's a very short cruise before we start preparing for our descent. Okay, everybody, here we are. We are cruising along nicely here at flight level 330. That's 33,000 feet. We need to start thinking about setting up for our descent. We're not going to be at cruise level for too much longer at all. Just 53 nautical miles until the top of descent, till we start to descend. So let's set ourselves up. What we need to do is go. This thing here, by the way, is called the MCDU. I've just gone and done a bit of research. There you go. You learn something new every day. But we want to go into our perf page right here, and we need to go to next phase, and approach. And we need to put in all the different variables here for our approach. So once again, let's pull up our Toliss SCS, and let's check out some of the data here for NZAA. This is the METAR. Okay, so we need to transfer some of this data here into our MCDU here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is QNH, and on here you can see Q1005, so 1005, boom, temperature is 13, 2.11, so, oh, hold on, 13, put it in there. Wind is 250 at 21, 250 at 21 knots. Put that in right there. Easy as that. And it's telling me to enter destination data. That's exactly what I'm doing right here. And then our decision height, let's just put in 100 feet here. It's basically sea level, the aerodrome. So there we go right there. That is everything that we need to put in there. What we need to do now is just sort out our top of descent wind. So we go into our flight plan and just choose something that's going to be after top of descent. And so POCOM is fine. Go in there, go into access wind data. And usually this would have a little asterisk saying wind request, and you'd push that. So it's not working right now, and it would go and populate that data. But for some reason, and it happened on the last flight I was on in New Zealand, it just, for some reason, it's just not working. So I'll just leave that blank in the meantime, and we'll rejoin you guys once we get very close to descending. So catch you soon. Okay, welcome back everybody, and as you can see here we're 10 nautical miles away from our top of descent. So what we need to do is plug in our next altitude. Now this would usually be the altitude in which ATC is cleared you to, but today we've got no ATC, so I'm just going to set that to 3,000 feet. Now that's the entry altitude for the ILS runway 23 left in Auckland. And so I set that to 3,000, and as we get close to our top of descent there, I'll just use this little knob here and I'll hit it, and away you go, we'll start descending. So we'll just let that run out just a little bit more. Once we get quite close, then we'll go ahead and set it once we get under 5 nautical miles, which we are just about there. 5, 4, 2, 1, there we go. So I just wait for one dot, and there we go, right there. So I've now set my 3,000 feet as the next altitude in which we're going to chase. So what this does is the aircraft calculates the winds, and I couldn't actually, the automatic wind or the finding the wind function wasn't working, so I think we'll just figure it out. But essentially it takes into account the winds you're going to experience and what sort of rate of descent it's going to need to do to actually get you down to your altitude in the most economical and efficient way. So that's what it's doing right now. So what I'll do, guys, is from here until we start setting up for that final approach, there's not a lot really to report on, so I'll join you back very, very soon, and we'll set ourselves up for trying to land this bird. Okay, welcome back everybody, and as you can see, it's pretty murky out here. There's not a lot to see, but we've got ourselves set up. We're about to turn on to our final approach. Since you're away, I did a few things, turned on the landing lights. I've now got approach mode on over here, and the second autopilot on. We're now making our way around to the final fix for our approach into Auckland. As you can see, we're at 3,000 feet currently. You can see we're just slightly below the glide slope at the moment, but we'll obviously intercept that pretty soon. We've got flaps 1 at the moment, and once we hit 2,000 feet, we'll be looking to get into put another notch of flaps on and then get the landing gear down. But as you can see, not a lot to see whatsoever. It looks like now that we have intercepted the glide slope, we're steadily descending here on our approach into Auckland. Still can't see much at all, but hopefully we'll break through this crowd. Ha! The cloud. I'd be a bit concerned if there was a crowd up here, although you'd hope ATC would keep them apart. But descending nicely here on the glide slope, and as you can see, things are starting to clear up just a little bit. You can see some of the land here.
2,500.
Just outside Auckland. Just check and see what's happening outside. Yeah, there you go there. Got some of that cool ortho for XP scenery starting to come through. A little bit gloomy, so it's not all that clear.
2,000.
Okay, let's look to put our second notch of flaps in as soon as that comes out. Our gear goes down too. Coming down, we're looking for 3 greens right here. Boom, 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 3 greens. Okay, let's arm our spoiler. Here it is right there, down there. Auto brake, it's a long runway, we'll just put it on low. Don't really need a lot of help here at Auckland, to be fair. And you can see the runway just in the distance here starting to appear. And we're just looking for the flap indicator right here. You can see it here on the speed indicator. Just waiting for that to come out, and there it is right there. The third and final notch of flaps is in. Alright. Okay, nose wheel light needs to go onto taxi. So let's change that right there. Runway turn-off lights need to go on. And landing lights, yes, they are on. Okay, let's let the flight crew know we are good to go. No blue lines on our memo. We haven't got one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what we're looking to do here, guys, and this is going to be a real challenge for me first time, is we're going to come in here. We're set up fully for landing. Let's just quickly check outside. Looking good. We're fully set up for landing, so what we're going to do is come in here. It's nice and easy when the plane flies for you. We'll come in here, and then once we get to about 50 feet, we're going to flare it, and then about 20 feet we'll retard the throttles completely. And then hopefully the reverse thrust will kick in when I push the appropriate keys. And we'll look to sort of roll down the runway and then get out of there. Let's get back in the cockpit. Everything seems to be setting up quite nicely as we're approaching there. The puppy lights are looking, or pappy lights are looking pretty good. 2 whites and 2 reds, which is perfect.
500.
We're getting the call outs. This could be a bit hairy, so don't expect miracles here, everybody.
300.
Too low, flaps.
100 above.
Too low,
200.
flaps.
Getting all sorts of warnings here, but
Too low, flaps.
Minimum.
Too low, flaps.
okay, let's start to flare.
50.
Too low, flaps.
Oh. Okay, we've retarded the throttle. A little bit floaty here. Very, very floaty here. The master warning's going off. Okay. Yes, the spoilers are on. That's a miracle. Let's get rid of this master caution, which I'm pretty sure says something about flaps. Let's just, we can exit the runway here. Okay, replay mode here, everybody, and yeah. Okay, should have landed probably around about here. Back there a little bit. We just sort of drifted above the runway, See a different angle right here, and then finally we touched down. And then the nose stayed an absolute age in the air. I didn't know we were down here, by the way. That's why that happened. And then the front nose wheel finally come down, the spoilers come out, and yeah, we finally stop. So a lot of work to be done there for sure, everybody, but there we go, we taxi off at high speed. Okay, that was absolutely terrible, and I think I've realized what I have done incorrectly, and I haven't put the flaps right out. That's what I've done. Yes, although it could be a flaps 3 landing. Okay, let's go and get those landing lights off, everybody. Engine mode to normal it is. Ground spoilers. Okay, let's disarm the spoilers right there. Master switch for APU can go on. APU start can go on. Okay, it's all good. Alright, let's taxi back to the gate, everybody. Okay, we're parked up and all done and dusted, everybody, and this is the view as the doors open and the guys rush out, because that was an absolutely terrifying flight. But anyway, there we go. I am learning, so I really enjoyed that. Definitely a lot of practice to be had, but I want to say a huge thank you very much for watching if you're stuck in this long. Make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new, and until next time, everybody, take it easy.